like I'm on the ball today. I even felt exempted from the law today. It's like this revelation dawned on me. It's so amazing, helps support the cause. I get everyone involved. I feel like I'm on the ball today. I even felt exempted from the law today. It's like this revelation dawned on me. It's so amazing, helps support the cause. I get everyone involved.
Boom!
That
Welcome.
gets you going in the morning.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Does this give you guys any clue? Yeah, baby. London and Paris. Oh, well, there you go. London and Paris, baby. This is my last for a while, but I get to go out in style. Miss Solarillo, welcome to the party.
Good morning, everybody.
What's up?
Ooh. Oh, lots. Well, first of all, this might be old news. I don't know. Maybe it's a week or two old. You guys may have talked about it. But Shay, how does a player play for two teams in one game?
Good for you. Look at this, man. Very nice. That happened yesterday.
Did he get traded?
Yes.
Is that what happened?
So he got traded. So there was a rain out, Boston and I think Toronto.
Right.
So he was initially a catcher for Toronto. Got traded during the trade deadline and got traded to Boston coincidentally. And so when they resumed play, he was playing for the other team. And
I was listening to the news and I'm like,
made history.
You know what's crazy? What's crazy?
That's why you watch baseball all the time, because history happens pretty much, could happen every game.
That only happens in baseball. That shit doesn't happen in any other sport. You know,
exactly. Anyway, had to bring that up. Like coming from a baseball family.
That's the reason why we do this huddle is for topical what's going on in the world. Now people can talk about that all day long, but we always use the opportunity in the opening to talk about what's happening with you.
Yeah. So it was a busy few days. You could see by some of the pictures.
Whoa.
So we had our first combined get together with the Circle of Wise Women members and the league members. It was at City Furniture. It was a pajama party. And it was to promote the test rest. And so everybody could lay on mattresses. They were jumping on mattresses. It was crazy. And gave out prizes, did a little scavenger hunt. So it was really, really fun. And then the team got together the next day, our team, and we did some painting and, some drinks or whatever during the day. So it was a great way to bond and get the team together. So it was just an all around, like, get everybody together kind of few days.
Awesome, man.
And then I went up to Vero Beach.
People in pajamas. Very nice.
Yeah. And then went to Vero Beach. I didn't put pictures of that in there, but I think I've mentioned. So my dad passed away young. He was 55. This was his family, his cousin. It was his 60th anniversary. My mom and I went. I took her, and it was just like I wish my dad was there, but it felt like he was there because I got to be with all of them. And so that was really cool to reconnect with some of them.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Good for you. Sounds like a fun week. Any major Labor Day plans?
Marco Island, here we come.
Very, very nice. We don't normally give Shay the opportunity to talk about what he did for the weekend, but I insisted.
He was a gangster, wasn't he?
Wow. This, let me tell you something. His wife is incredible in terms of setting the stage. Shay, show me what happened Saturday night. Wow, look at him.
So the good news is it was free because everything was in the closet. So we decided to go. You have all of that
shit in the closet? Why?
well, except for the blow up Tommy guns, but so it was a gangster 1950s or early 1900s fantasy football draft, and so I decided to go as Peaky Blinders because Danielle had that hat and surprisingly it fit my big head. Had to stretch it a little bit, but yeah, glasses were just prop glasses that she wears from time to time, so put them on and rock and roll.
You guys look great.
Awesome. And then Miss Chanel did her second round of cheerleading, so they were practicing some stunts yesterday.
Oh, she is just so cute.
Yay. Last little bit of housekeeping. The boys are in Nashville. They'll be live tomorrow from Nashville. They are at the True Network event called Oasis. Today they get to hear Lance Armstrong speak, which I think is just going to be totally outstanding. But I will be handling tomorrow's GOTB accountability call. So for those who are part of that community, make sure you show up tomorrow. Come with questions. That's what that whole thing is about. So I am absolutely dialed in and ready. And then as soon as that call is over, I have a car picks me up and takes me bye-bye. So I'm super fired up. If you're part of the community, if you're not part of the community, call me. See if I can slip you into that call.
Shout out Aventura Limo.
Yeah. Let's start this thing. Wake us up. Wake us up, baby. All right. Jonathan Ahrens, man, there are so many questions that if you want, grab 15 minutes on my calendar. I will give you all the answers, man. The guy
watch out for the quiet ones, Jonathan.
He's an enigma, man. But as we do every morning, we talked about optimism and good thoughts and stuff. We start our day with a daily affirmation. Shay, could you show us our daily affirmation? And Lori, will you please give us the honor of reading it?
Absolutely. One of the best ways to take your energy and power back from someone is to block them from having any future access to you. Block them on every platform and deny them even the chance to being allowed to monitor you moving on and becoming successful without them.
I think, this is control the controllables. We talk about this all the time. When I saw that, I said, there are energy vampires in your life. There are people who their only goal is to suck the life out of you. And if you let them, shame on you.
Yeah. No, well, listen, we talk about this. There's the haters and it's usually not about you. It can be, but it's usually not. It's usually about their own insecurities and issues. My favorite saying. So, yeah, you just have to block those out.
Now, I will tell you, to such a degree, and I don't profess that everybody should use my strategy, but my strategy in life as it comes to LinkedIn and all the social media, if somebody is engaged with me and we're offering stuff to each other, I want them there. If they're not, I delete them. I don't need everybody on my bus. I want the right people on my bus. And so I prune all the time. And I posted about that a couple of weeks ago. When you go to the garden and you prune your hedges, they grow taller. I prune my garden all the time, and I'm thrilled to do that. So just a little piece of advice. Good morning, Candy Cohen. Now, when her name comes up, I can't help but think of candy corn. Candy corn. And you know what? I am sick and tired of all this pumpkin spice bullshit.
Oh, it's just beginning. It is just beginning.
It's August. It's 150 degrees outside, and people are doing a pumpkin spice hot maple something. I'm like, what are you doing, man? Just absolutely crazy. So I use this video in a lot of my early trainings. I haven't used it in a while, but I'm doing something unique for a client. And I'm always saying, you are the brand. No matter where you work, if you work, at JA, or you work at Emerald Bank, or you work at On the Ball, you're still the brand. Jonathan Ahrens, you're a brand unto yourself. Many of the people that show up here, you're a brand, whether you like it or not, and you're either controlling it or not. This is a very, very interesting perspective on who you are.
McDonald's is a last name. Abercrombie & Fitch, last name. Armani is a last name. Baskin Robbins is a last name. Chrysler is a last name. Fisher Price, Gucci, Hennessy, Harley Davidson, Hilton, Honda, Kohl's, Kraft Foods, Lowe's Movie Theater, Marriott is a last name. Maybach is a last name. Nordstrom is a last name. Pillsbury is a last name. Porsche is a last name. Procter & Gamble, 2 last names. Rolls Royce, Charles Rolls, Henry Royce, last names. Turner Broadcast System, Ted Turner, last name. Versace, last name. Wells Fargo, Henry Wells, William Fargo, last name. Walgreens, last name. Wrigley's, last name. Welch's Grape Juice, last name. Here you are, you think you're buying a product. You are not buying a product, you're buying a name. You think you're wearing a product. Hey, look at this product. No, you're saying, look at this family.
So it's so incredible because I don't think people think in terms of, they think of Nordstrom's as a department store. It started as a family, as somebody sitting at a dinner table and saying, I'm going to build a business, I'm going to put my name on it. But I don't think it could be any more relevant than it is today, because you bring your brand to the party of, and I'm so enjoying the work I'm doing with Amaranth Bank. I had the chance to sit down with Jerry Plush, who he is a brand unto himself. I mean, witty and, contemporary and just so great that he brings you into Amaranth, not the other way around. So I wanted your comments on that.
Yeah, no, I mean, listen, I always tell our young, especially in our young people, right, with JA, that you are your brand, right? And who you hang out with, what you put out on social media, right? What, how you dress. I'm kind of old fashioned in that way when it comes to the professional world, right? I think it's good to be in style and fashion, but I think you got to be careful. Or even when you're going out, right? There's a sexy, classy look, and then there's a trashy, classy,
I agree.
sexy
I
look.
am 1,000%
I'm really
behind.
big on all of that stuff, and I just don't know that most people understand that.
So, it's a responsibility to understand the power that your brand has. Now, I had somebody, or Mark had posted something. No, check that. Somebody else posted, and inside they said, oh, the Nudelbergs do great work. That is generational now, where I always taught my kids when they grow up, you have a responsibility to the name. This is who we are. This is how we show up. This is what we do, how we do it. So, it's no surprise that they are at the True Network event representing. It was my original relationship with their CEO, Scott Smith, but I'm no longer active in that. It's all Mark. And you know what? People say, you guys, Nudelberg is a brand, and for a long time, when we sold On the Ball or sold pieces of it, I went with Nudelberg. That was my brand. But I can tell you this, and this is a fact. The first decision that people make in any buying cycle is, do they like you? Because if they don't like you, I don't care what you're saying or selling or doing or whatever, they'll find it somewhere else. We live in a commoditized world. So the responsibility is, to be genuine and to be authentic. And I just thought that video summed it up. I mean, I don't think people realize that there's a Rolls Royce, 2 guys that got together to.
Yeah, I think you're right. When I watched it, I was like, wow, I didn't realize that was the last name,
I mean, it about McDonald's because of the movie with Michael Keaton. And so you sort of have some backstory there. But all of those companies, Gillette, it's just crazy. So really, really good stuff. I'm super inspired today. Lots of great coaching calls coming up, but I'm leaving for London. So this is in honor of London.
Through the streets of Soho in the rain, he was looking for the place called Lee Ho Fooks. Gonna get a big dish of beef chow mein. Ahoo, where was London? Ahoo, ahoo, where was London? Howling around your kitchen door. better not let him in. Little old lady got mutilated late last night. Werewolves of London again. Ahoo, werewolves of London. Ahoo.
All right. So, so I'm going to throw out a trivia question, and the prize is you get to join me tomorrow in the accountability call. So if you're not part of it, this is a way to win it. Who sang that song? Let's go. Let's go. Do 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 do. I'll be singing that all day. Ahoo. London. So all good shit.
You got me, so I don't know.
So let's see if anybody comes up with it. I'll give it at the end of the show. So Michelle Potter off. There she goes, man. I knew she'd get it. Melissa Graves, but you guys are coming to my party anyway. I hope to see you tomorrow, as they are definitely part of the GOTB crowd. So if we're going to take responsibility for our name, we got to understand what the competition is. So most people think, like Nordstrom's competition is Saks. Well, Nordstrom, the guy Nordstrom, his competition was the mirror. And it's just really true of everybody that's watching this. Your competition, you look at it in the mirror every single day. And so, Lori, any of these jump out at you because these are all things that you can control, you can work on. These are muscles. This is mental gymnastics about things that you can pay attention to that are your competition.
Yeah, I mean, listen, there's not one that they're all so true. And I always say this, I want JA to be the best organization, but we're not competing against other organizations, right? As a team, right? So right now we're working on that. I look at the lack of skill and knowledge, right? Bad habits when we're not planning properly, making excuses when something doesn't get done or we don't hit a goal. So I think, this applies personally as well as in your business. But our competition is us.
I mean, you definitely procrastination.
Yep.
People just are not energized to do stuff. Bad habits can go all the way to sleep. So one of the things that people consistently ask me, what's the key to success? Mindset and calendar. If you have bad calendar habits, you're constantly stacking meetings on top or, visits on top of one another. You're not going to know who the hell you're talking to. You can't be where your feet are because you're always thinking about what's next. And, so all of these things. But I think for me to sum it up, we live in a distracted world, man.
I was just going to say, I think that one is probably the one that, most recently has gotten to the list, because with technology and all of that, trying to block all that out is tough for everybody.
It's crazy. I mean, and I'm guilty of it too. I mean, it's just the world we live in. I saw someone post the other day that I think the average person checks their phone 350 times a day.
Wow.
What else do you do 350 times a day? I mean, just think if the phone got melted and you couldn't do that, what would you do, man? So anyway, so if anybody wants that list, and I know Melissa and Michelle, you guys are always asking, we're always sending, all you got to do is take the action. Ask us, we'll send it to you. You pin it on the wall in front of you and you pay attention and grade yourself. See how fast your career changes. And finally today, this story just came out recently about Oprah Winfrey. You can't argue with her success. She's been monstrous in her whole career and everything she's done. Oprah shared the secret to her success. It comes down to one 7-letter word. Did you get a chance to look at this?
I did.
Okay. So you live in this world.
Mm-hmm.
Not only as a human being, but this is what you do. You are providing this to everybody. So, drum roll. What's the 7-letter word?
Service.
Wow.
Service to others.
So I'm going to break this down. I yellow marked it because it's going to be part of my vernacular. How service leads to success. When we serve, we build trust, which is foundational for solid relationships. In personal and professional settings, these relationships can open doors to opportunities, collaborations, and support networks, essential for long-term success, making us feel connected and valued.
Yeah.
Now,
Yep.
one of the things I do in the GOTV content is I share with people, they did not know this. Do you know that the word sales comes from a Scandinavian word that means serve? Oh, what? Boom, another one. Like, it's unbelievable. Somewhere along the line, people in business started saying, fuck the service, let's go to the sales.
Right.
Twisted it, and it's always about sales first, service second, which is a disservice. It's just a disservice to you. This is where I think the fracture is in the world right now. If you think sales first and not service, you're going to get run over. This is where I think we have the tipping point. So,
I think so. Two things. One, from a business perspective, we were just talking about this yesterday. About 85% of our revenue this year will come from existing or prior customers, donors, supporters.
Wow.
Okay. So you talk about how important service is in our world.
Wow.
Right? If we're not focusing on making sure that we are making those donors and supporters feel appreciated, right? Informed, educated, inspired, all of those things, guess what? We're going to have to work a lot harder, and we're going to have to find a lot more new donors and supporters, right?
So I love that.
One thing.
I love your comment. I love it.
So that's from a professional perspective. And from a personal perspective, I mean, listen, this is something that I grew up in. My dad gave back to the community. My parents, especially him, I was with him when I was a young child doing these things. So important to get our kids involved, because right now we're living in a world where it's all about them, right? And we need to really, really focus on serving others first. And I said that to somebody, I don't know who I was talking to this week. And I was just like, yeah, I don't ask. I want to see how I can help everybody else first. Eventually, it might come back. It might not. That's okay. Right. But it's always about, how can I help you?
Love it, man. What a great way to end the week for me. Thank you for always sharing your wisdom. Laura Brody, thank you for your support. You've been a huddler since day one, man. You've been
By the way, I just want to say one last thing on service. If you are not giving back, if you are not involved, mentoring students, helping this, whatever it is that is your passion, and that's important to you, it's so much a part of what our lives, right? It's just, so I really encourage you to get involved with something and someone.
Yeah, I mean, I think the misnomer is you got to give money, and that's not the reality. Even of the 85% that renewed, probably, a very small percentage of that makes up the whole, right. It's just different.
But it's the same thing with volunteers. Yeah. If we keep 85% of the volunteers who give their time, right, then it's that much less that we have to go find new. So whether it's time or money.
All right, off to the races today. Make it a great Tuesday. Mark and Jake will be back here tomorrow. Reminder, if you are part of GOTB, please jump in the accountability call tomorrow at 1:00. If you are not, call me because I know somebody.
Ooh, have a great day.
Please don't worry about me. I'm about to let my heart speak. My friends keep telling me to leave this. So let's get down to business. Let's get down